Hey, day 6 of Build Your Belonging. I got the I got the number wrong yesterday on the email, so apologies if you are subscribed to the email list and you got an email that said day 4. It was day 5 and I'd not changed it. So today I want to share a practice with you that will help you essentially manage the difficult feelings that when you feel them in your body. So yesterday the learning was all about how like the body knows first. So everything that we're experiencing, we actually experience in the body first, and often we just ignore it and we suppress it. So what I was inviting you to do yesterday was to kind of consider, how do you start to develop a dialogue or a conversation with your body? And, I guess making that connection between body and mind, and not seeing them as a separate thing, not seeing it as like, oh, I'm thinking this and that's completely separate to what I'm feeling in my body. It's kind of really opening up that connection. And so the practice that I want to share with you today is essentially designed to support you in that process, because once we start tuning in to the feelings that are going on, it can be quite difficult to then be with them and to hold on to them and to know what to do with them, essentially. So I want to share a little practice with you today that is based on a technique. Well, it is a technique that I use in my client work, and it's called EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it is based on a combination of kind of tapping on acupressure points on the face and body, and also talking. So it's this really lovely combination of meditative kind of tapping, regulating our nervous systems, and also saying out loud what is going on for us. So it's a really lovely method that is able to kind of have a multifaceted approach, essentially, because talking about stuff is great, but often what that doesn't do is really discharge the feelings, the energy of the feeling and emotion that we're experiencing. When you get nervous, you feel a gut-wrenching feeling. Talking about it doesn't necessarily get rid of it. Actually, talking about it can sometimes make it worse. So by doing the tapping, it's a really great way to actually help discharge that difficult energy, or even just to take the charge out of the situation or the feeling that you're experiencing. And so, first of all, I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes to show you how to tap, and we're just gonna do what's called a tap and breathe. So I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just gonna talk you through the points, and I'm just gonna encourage you with every point that we tap on, just to focus on your breath. So breathing in and breathing out really intentionally with each tapping point. And that's just the first thing we're going to do, just to get into the zone and so you understand the tapping points. Things to mention: you can't get this wrong. If you missed out tapping points and you don't keep up with me, it doesn't matter. Like, you cannot mess this up. It doesn't matter if you tap with your left or right hands. It doesn't make any difference. You can actually tap with both hands if you want to. Sometimes that can feel quite helpful. What else to tell you? Sometimes when we first start to tap, there can be like an amplification of some stress and some feelings, and it's because we're kind of focusing in on what's going on for us. It's completely normal. Like, stick with it, breathing and tapping as you go, and it should start to your feelings should start to kind of ease. You should feel that the charge is being taken out of them. Okay, so the first point that we're going to tap on here is just the side of the hand. It's really light. We're not beating ourselves up. And we're just going to breathe in and out. So just gently tapping on the side of the hand. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to come to the top of the head. I'm being quite intentional with my breath. It can be gentle, but it's quite a nice release to make that breath a bit deeper. And then just here on the inner part of your eyebrow, and then the outer edge of your eyebrow. Under your eye. Under your nose. On your chin. Just below, so where your collarbone is, the bumpy, knobbly bit of your collarbone, just below there, there's like a squishy bit. Just tapping there. And you can do both hands. You can alternate. It doesn't matter. And now just on your wrist. On your thumb. And we're just going to go through the fingers. Now you can just tap with one finger, you can do both, it's fine. Moving round on each of your fingers. Amazing. Now just take one deep breath in and just really let go. Now you may already feel a shift in your energy. You might already feel like any stress that you've been experiencing today has just come down a notch. You might. Okay, there's no right or wrong. But just check in with how you feel right now and just see if anything has shifted for you. Like, oh, I just feel a bit calmer, or actually something has kind of dialed up a little bit, and just notice what's going on. And I'm gonna move into like another phase of tapping with you now, where I'm gonna use some words and some language to demonstrate how else we can use this technique. And what I want to say to you is there are loads and loads and loads of videos, scripts, tapping scripts, guides out there on the internet. So there's if you feel like, yeah, this is a really useful technique, there are loads of resources out there for you to go and use. And also you can just tap on your own, like you don't need to follow anything. But when people are starting out with this technique, they often feel like they need to follow a script to know what to say, and that's totally fine. You can come back and you can follow this as many times as you need to. Insights Timer is a great resource, free resource for tapping scripts, and YouTube is a really good resource for tapping scripts. And in my email, I will pop some links to some people that are really prominent in tapping. I use this quite a lot with clients. Okay, so Jamie, who's watching live on Instagram, has just said noticing a tension in my heart space. So Jamie, I'll use that in as we tap round. Okay. So I use this quite regularly, but it's a technique, and the reason I use it is because it's a technique that I can share with someone, and then they get to take it away and use it themselves. Like, they don't have to be with me every time they use it, and that's really important to me, that I'm resourcing you with things that you can go and use yourself. So what I want you to do is just to bring to mind something that is maybe causing you a little bit of stress, something that isn't too big if this is the first time that you've ever done any kind of EFT tapping. Okay, so if it's something you're familiar with, and if you've worked with me, then you will likely have done this technique before, and that's fine. So use whatever's coming up for you. But if you've never tapped before, bring something to mind that is causing you mild to moderate stress or tension. And as you think about that situation, just take a moment, closing your eyes, and just scanning down your body to notice where you feel this the most in your body. So for example, I quite often get a gripping feeling in my throat when something is stressing me out. Jamie's talking about a tension in her heart space. Maybe it's a knot in your stomach, or your hands feel clenched. Just notice what it is. And then I want you to rate that feeling. I want you to give it a rating of 0 to 10. So 0 being it's not that strong. In fact, it's nothing. 10 being the strongest it can feel. Just give it a rating. Now what you can do, there's other ways you can deepen this practice, and you can give that feeling a shape, a colour. And I would also encourage you to give that feeling, this physical feeling you're experiencing, an emotion that you associate with it. That can be anything at all. If you say stress, if stress is the word that comes up for you, I'd try and funnel down a little bit deeper and go, because stress is broad, anxiety is quite broad. See if you can get a little bit more granular detail on what that stress and anxiety is in relation to. It could just be I'm angry with a person for them, the way they spoke to me. So stress is kind of your higher level, and actually what is sitting beneath that is, well, actually I'm angry. I'm angry about a situation that's going on, okay? And so I'm going to just do some tapping with you now, and I want you just to follow along. Now you can use my words. You will still get the benefit if you use my words, but you are also okay to use your own words, okay? Now I'm going to go with a feeling that has been present for me today, and there's been a little bit of tension in my neck and in my jaw. I've been clenching my jaw a little bit. And I'm going to use those words, and I'm also just going to tune into, so Jamie on Instagram, thank you for those words, Jamie. I will use those as well for you. So even though, and I want you to repeat what I'm saying, even though I have this tension and I'm feeling it in my jaw, my heart space. You put wherever you're feeling it. I am going to give myself some space to feel it. Even though I have this tightness in my body, in my jaw, in my heart, in my stomach, wherever that is for you. I'm going to give myself a few moments to be with it and accept this is how I feel. Even though I'm feeling angry, frustrated, fed up, overwhelmed, and you can pick a word that resonates with you the most. I can accept this is how I feel. And then we're going to move to the top of the head. This uncomfortable feeling in my body, all this stress that I'm experiencing right now, it's overwhelming. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to manage it. This tension and tightness in my throat, my heart, my gut is really hard for me to feel. And it's causing me stress. So just tapping round. So you're saying the things, you're talking about the things that are bothering you while you are tapping on the various acupressure points. So it's meditative and it's therapeutic because we're speaking it. All these feelings that I'm experiencing. I'm dealing with a lot right now. I've got a lot on my plate. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I can't manage. Keep breathing while you're doing this as well. And it's so much for me to cope with. Back to the top of the head. So that's one round. All these feelings, all this tension in my jaw, I'm so angry, frustrated, sad, lost. And I don't want to feel this way. But I'm going to give myself permission to feel these feelings. I am going to accept this is where I'm at right now. This is how I feel at the moment. And it's not easy. But this is how I feel. And I'm going to give myself some space. And I'm going to send myself some love. And I'm going to breathe. I can breathe some love into these feelings. And I wonder if I can allow these feelings to be there. And by giving myself permission to feel this tension, this frustration, this stress, if I can allow them to release just 1%, can I allow this feeling to release just 1%? I don't need to let it all go at once. That feels too much. But I can allow it to release just 1%. And 1% more. And it's okay. I am okay. It's not how I want to feel. And I won't feel like this forever. But right now, I feel tense. I feel angry. And I'm giving myself some room to breathe. Okay, I'm going to do one more round. I'm going to give myself permission. I am going to invite some love into my heart. I'm going to be kind to myself. I am going to go gently with myself. I don't need to beat myself up over this. All these feelings can be there. And I can give myself space to feel them. They won't last forever. They will pass. And they will change. And that's okay. I can feel my feelings. I can feel everything I need to. Okay. Let's take a big deep breath in, stretch up. And then just breathe out. I want you just to kind of just maybe roll your shoulders, move in any way that feels good. And I want you to tune back into that feeling that we started with. So for me, it was tension and tightness in my jaw and my neck. I probably would have given it a 6. I didn't say that number at the start, but it was about a 6 for me. And as I tune into it now, I would say it's at about a 4 now. And I want you to do the same, like tune into what number you would now rate that feeling. Now, if it's gone up, that's okay. It's normal. It's not unusual for the number to go up. And what I would invite you to do if that has happened is to tap round again. It's because you've tuned into it. You're giving it your attention. And we're not looking to bring the number down to 0 either. We're not looking to eradicate, and I'm speaking about this all the time. This is not about removing, eradicating or fixing. This is about bringing our awareness and attention to how we're feeling and allowing these feelings to be there and just giving them room to move and to breathe. And the tapping will do that. Now, if you're sat with, people, you're in public and you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling really anxious and I want to tap, you can just tap on the side of your hand. You can tap on the top of your hand. You could just tap your fingers. No one's going to look too much. I often will just tap my collarbone. It's a really good spot for anxiety. And you don't have to tap full rounds. Like, it's really good practice just to tap, because what happens is your body and mind learns, oh, okay, this is how we're creating safety. This is how I know I'm okay to feel my feelings, and I know that they're going to start to move through me soon. And your body learns, and it happens a lot quicker with practice. So just take a moment to rate that number. And if you feel able to, let me know what it changed from and to. It's really useful to kind of, you then can track the changes. Like, so before, and when you practice this on your own, before you start, give it a rating, give it a number, and practice more. You might need 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You might only need 5 minutes. Like, there is no right or wrong with this. But give it a go. Something different. Let me know how you get on. I'm really keen to know how you find this process. And it's really about connecting body and mind here. And, the acceptance and permission piece runs through this whole experience that we're doing together. Okay. Thanks so much. Mwah. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy your sunshine evening, hopefully. And I will see you tomorrow evening. Take care.